Dear children and beloved co-workers, welcome to online class. I feel it's a privilege and an honor to me to present you this lesson. I'm going to deal with the lesson from 7th class, unit number 3, and this unit deals with the bravery. Let's turn to page number 40 in our textbooks. There we see face sheet. In A reading we see face sheet in page number 40. Okay children, look at the picture carefully. Later we will have some questions and we have to answer them. Observe the picture carefully. I hope you have observed the picture carefully. Now I am going to pose some questions to you. Please answer them. Okay, first question. What do you see in the picture? Yes, some soldiers waging war against each other. So we see a war scene in the picture, isn't it? Yes. What do you think maybe is the causes of war in the world? Yes, very good. There are so many reasons for wars in the world, but if we broadly categorize, there are 8 prominent causes or reasons of wars in the world. Those are: first one, economic gain. Often wars occur for the control of wealth of one nation. For example, our country, India, was invaded by so many nations, especially the Britishers, and they looted everything from us. If we take Anglo-Indian wars in between 1766 AD to 1849 AD, they came to our country as businessmen and they looted everything from us. How pathetic it is. So, what I want to say is economic gain is the prominent reason behind wars. And second reason is territorial gain. Territorial gain means a country might decide that it needs more land area for living space, agricultural needs, or for other purposes. Okay, a country might decide that it needs more land for agricultural purposes, living space, and so many other purposes to establish industries and so many other things. For this reason, they want to occupy other nation. They want to going to the territory of other nation. So territorial gain is another reason for wars. And the third reason for wars is religion. Religious conflicts often have deep roots. Religious wars can often be tied to other reasons such as nationalism or out of past deceit. In the past, if one particular religion had faced so many problems, then definitely they want to take revenge in one way or the other. In this manner, religion also one of the prominent reasons for wars in the world. And fourth cause for wars is nationalism. Nationalism means attempting to prove that your country is superior to another by violent subjugation. It leads to oppression of other minorities within the country. So we should be very careful with nationalism. Nationalism is good, but that should not go and that should not cut off the rights of other people. We should be very careful of nationalism. And next one, revenge. Seeking to punish, redress a grievance, or simply fight back for a perceived slight can often be a factor. Revenge also relates to nationalism. For suppose our nationalities were killed by some other nation in a fight or war, definitely we want to take revenge on them. So, in this manner, the war takes place. And other reason for wars is civil war. This generally takes place when there is a sharp internal disagreement within your country. The disagreement can be about who rules, or how the country should be run, or the people's rights. So, this civil war takes place within the country. And the seventh reason for wars is revolutionary war. Revolution within the country. These occur when a large section of the population of a country revolts against the individual or group that rules the country. So, this is the revolution against the rulers. We see so many revolts in so many countries like this. Recently in Iraq also, in Egypt also. And other prominent reason for wars is defensiveness. In the modern world, when military aggression is widely questioned, countries will often argue that they are fighting in a purely defensive capacity against an aggressor or a potential aggressor, and that their war is therefore a just war. So they wanted to defend themselves, and if they attack on their neighbor's nation, and they argue that they are only fighting in defense with the other nation. So these are the 8 prominent reasons for wars in the world. Okay, now let's talk about the impact of wars on human life. Okay, children, now tell me, what is the impact of wars on human life? Are wars good or bad? Oh, very good. Wars are not at all good. They are always bad. Why? Why they are bad? Yes. Yes, first of all, if we think of wars carefully, there is mass destruction of people when war takes place. Millions, thousands and thousands of people die of wars, especially in front line soldiers, women, children. Who not? So there is mass destruction of people when war takes place. And second impact is mass destruction of cities. For example, if we take Second World War, in that war, two Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, were totally destroyed by atom bombs, and millions of people died and thousands of people injured of these wars, these bombs. So that is why mass destruction of cities takes place when there is a war, and injuries, so many people uh, get injured when there are wars, and atrocities against women and children. When wars takes place, many a times human rights are violated, and women were harassed sexually, and children also face atrocities. And another problem with the wars is malnutrition, because if a country wages war against another country and there is no scope for development in that particular country, and because of that, the people of that particular country, especially children, face malnutrition problem, women face malnutrition problem, and illness. Because of these wars, people face illness. And other impact is long lasting ill effect on a country's economy, because when there is a war, the government of that particular country tries to spend more money on weapons. So that is why there is a long lasting ill effect on a country's economy when war takes place. And negative effects such as infrastructure, public health provision, and social order. So, uh, so these are the negative effects when war takes place. So there is a negative effect on infrastructure and public health provision and social order also. So if war takes place in a certain country, and there will not be social order in that particular country, and burglaries takes place. If we observe carefully, in the past decade, more than 2 million children killed in the wars throughout the world. Children, how pathetic it is. More than 20 lakh children were died in the wars in the past decade. So we should be very careful of wars. And other impact is post traumatic stress disorder. We call it as PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. After completion of the war, people suffer a lot mentally. That is called post traumatic stress disorder. And soldiers also face this problem. And depression and anxiety are some of the emotional effects of war. And soldiers lost their valuable lives. So, children, when war takes place, it is not at all good for anyone. So, what can we learn from uh, this discourse? Oral discussion. My dear children, as children, we are the future of the society, future of the nation. So, my humble request to you is, we should not fight with each other. We should respect, and we should behave in a dignified manner. We should treat others equally, and we should not uh, discriminate any person. On the name of caste or religion or something else. We should treat all the people equally, because hatred stirs up stripes, but love covers a multitude of wrongdoings. So that is why we should not hate others. Why? Why is it? It's a, it's a waste of our time and energy. And other one is, We have to do everything possible on our path to live in peace with everyone, because it is honor for a man to cease from strife. It is honor for a man to stop from fighting. But every fool will be meddling. Every fool will be fighting. So, my dear children and friends, we should be very careful of fightings and wars. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.